Hi, I'm Liz LeCue, one of the many Millionaire Club members here at Legal Shield. I started here when I was 24 years old because I was looking for a way to have the flexibility of being my own boss and work from home. I love hiking, traveling, and I wanted to be a mom someday. I also had a lot of debt I accumulated in college. So I started part-time, and within a year, and a lot of hard work, I was able to leave my job as a health club manager. By the time I was 29, got married and started having kids, I had a passive income coming in from this business that's allowed both me and my husband to be stay-at-home parents to our 3 beautiful kids. I believe the world has been through a lot in the last few years, and we all have experienced so many changes. The cost of gas has gone up, which has affected the price of groceries to increase, and the average family needs to make more money right now to keep up with inflation. I believe the job market's not going to return to where it was before the pandemic. Companies have had to figure out how to do more with less manpower, and people are now learning how to make a living with their own businesses. That's why I'm excited to share with you our mission today and how you can make a difference while making a great living with Legal Shield. Legal Shield was founded in 1972, and for the past 50 years, we've been able to protect and empower more than 4.4 million lives. What I love most about our company is our vision to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, justice, and opportunity that every single human deserves. Legal Shield has been featured in Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, and Bloomberg as a company that's really making a difference in the lives of others. We do it through what's called disruptive innovation. That's when something comes along and makes things simpler, easier, and more affordable. Just like Amazon, Spotify, and Uber made it simpler to shop, listen to your favorite music, and get a more affordable ride, that's what we are doing, but for the legal world. We have made accessing an attorney simpler, easier, and more affordable. There are many different reasons that you may need advice from your provider lawyer over your lifetime. The first service we offer is preventative, and that's making sure you get the legal advice you need before bad things happen. What I love about Legal Shield is that you can actually call and speak to a provider lawyer to get expert legal advice. Before I continue, I want you to hear from a friend of mine who recently used their Legal Shield membership for a situation they were having.
My oldest son is getting married next year, and we contracted a venue for the wedding. I paid $1,500 for a deposit, and we signed the contract. A few weeks later, we found out that they were changing the circumstances around the venue, and it was not what they had promised us. And when I asked them if we could cancel the contract, they said, unfortunately, no. They were going to keep our deposit and hold on to all of the money, and we were out of luck. What I did when I had a problem was I called Legal Shield. Once we realized that we were getting a check back and it was resolved, we were all really, really excited. Because up until that point, we were anxious, upset, concerned, because nobody likes to throw away money, whether it's $1 or $1,500.
So let's talk some more about the service. Have you thought it might be a good idea to have a contract or document reviewed? Many times we sign things without even knowing what they say, but being able to have a provider lawyer take a look and give advice, that's a great service. Our members can also have letters and phone calls directly from the provider lawyer made on their behalf. You can also get help with life events. It's powerful to be able to have a provider lawyer prepare your will. You can begin the process to have your will prepared with just a tap on our mobile app. You can also have your living will, healthcare power of attorney, and financial power of attorney created. And as a mom of 3 kids, I feel really good knowing that if something were to ever happen to us, that we've had all of our legal documents taken care of. Have you ever gotten a traffic ticket? Your provider law firm can also help you with that. Do you have teenage drivers, or maybe your spouse drives like a teenager? Your provider law firm is there to take a look at the ticket and give you advice on what to do, and can even represent you in court for covered legal matters. Speaking of court, if you're named as a defendant in a covered civil lawsuit, your provider lawyer can assist with trial defense and can even offer help with pre-trial preparation to give you the peace of mind you deserve. We also provide assistance if you're being audited by the IRS concerning your personal tax return. You will also have access to your provider lawyer 24/7 for covered legal emergencies. If you're being detained or questioned, or in an automobile or motorcycle accident that results in bodily harm or physical injury, or if the state is attempting to take your children. The peace of mind that comes with your Legal Shield membership is priceless. You can even get help with family law issues like uncontested divorce, adoption, and name change. You must have your membership for 90 consecutive days prior to these specific services. Your Legal Shield plan covers you, the member, as well as your spouse or domestic partner, and covered dependent children. All right, I've told you a lot about Legal Shield. Now let's talk about our Identity Theft Protection Plan, ID Shield. We also have a mobile app to help protect your personal data. You can receive alerts about your private information we're monitoring, like your credit score, social security number, driver's license, date of birth, username and passwords, and your social media accounts. Identity protection is not always at the forefront of our minds, but identity theft is very common. To give you an example, I'd love for you to hear from another friend of mine.
So I personally used the ID Shield plan for the very first time because I was pulled over. So don't judge me, but I did get a traffic ticket. And when I was pulled over, I actually found out that I had a warrant for my arrest in the state of Alabama. Now, I knew it couldn't have been me because I'd never been to the state of Alabama, so I went back and forth with the officer. He was really kind about it, but I said, look, that wasn't me. He ran down all of the information. I said, well, it sounds like me, but I had never been to the state of Alabama. Luckily, I also had Legal Shield, so I was able to use my 24/7 emergency access, had the attorney speak on my behalf, which helped me to be able to go home that night. Felt really good about knowing that I had that type of protection. But on the back end, I was able to talk to my fraud advisor and specialist with ID Shield, and they found the errors. They found that someone actually did use my information right in the state of Alabama. Of course, when they got a ticket with my information on ID, their picture, they didn't go to court. So that's how I ended up with a warrant. When they found those errors, they actually restored me back to the way it was before that thief got a hold of it. They didn't find that gentleman that used my information, but I didn't have to go to the state of Alabama on a ticket that wasn't mine. So I felt really good about knowing that I had both Legal Shield and ID Shield to protect not only my legal rights, but also my identity.
It's frightening to think that something like that could happen to us or members of our family. Having ID Shield brings me great peace of mind. We think the dark web is just something we see on TV, but it exists, and people are selling billions of records of our stolen information and passwords. We scan data points across the dark web to see if your personal information has been exposed. ID Shield helps protect you against identity theft, not to mention that we do privacy and reputation management too. This is a great service because people are searching you online and you want to have the very best reputation possible. We also restore services with a $1 million protection plan. If your identity is stolen, we assign you a licensed private investigator who will do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. Normally, you would have to take time off of work to deal with some of these headaches that can happen if you were a victim of identity theft. Another thing that often happens is that you can become exposed to malware simply by visiting specific websites. But with our Trend Micro Maximum Security, we're able to help protect your devices against malware. We're able to also make sure that you have a secure VPN connection when you're in public spaces such as airports, coffee shops, so you can log in without being exposed to people that are trying to run scams on your devices. We also provide a password manager, giving you unique and encrypted passwords for your accounts, so you do not have to try to remember your different credentials. We cover individuals if you're single, but if you have a family, we cover you, your spouse, and dependent children under the age of 18. I want you to take a look at it as an investment in your peace of mind. But there's one more thing I have to mention, and that's when you're a member of Legal Shield, you also get access to member perks. I love member perks because I've personally been able to save a lot of money on hotels, car rentals, computers, my Costco membership, movie tickets, and so much more. Members often tell us that they save more money than their membership costs each month. That's amazing. When these memberships were presented to me, I knew immediately that I needed these services, and I knew others could also benefit. So I made the decision to become an associate so that I could be a part of this powerful mission while having the opportunity to get paid daily. Another thing I love about being a part of the Legal Shield community is that we have access to incredible mentors. We actually happen to be here with one of them today, who was awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year by the National Black Chamber of Commerce. He's a $1 million ring earner in Legal Shield, Mr. Darnell Self.
Well, thanks, Liz, for your kind words. And every time I hear about the services that we provide, I get more and more excited about what I get an opportunity to do for a living. Again, I'm Darnell Self, and I worked at a mall. That's what I did as a career from high school all the way through college, and even after receiving my bachelor's degree. I was a retail manager, so I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. When people called in sick, I had to go in because I was the manager. And on the weekends, I missed out on all of my personal life because in retail, the most important times were weekends. So my kids' sporting events, birthday parties, family reunions, church, anything that happened on a Saturday or a Sunday, you can count me out. So I was looking for something. And at 25 years old, I stepped out into the entrepreneurial world. I didn't have any success for a while, for about 3.5 years. But at 28 years old, a friend of mine introduced me to this amazing company. It's allowed my wife and I to enjoy the life that we have today, being stay-at-home parents for the last 20 years. But I want to talk to you today a little bit about compensation, how we get paid. Now, growing up, I was only taught one form of income, and that was linear income, right? Trading my time for money. If I went to work, I got paid. If I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. And most people work that way. My dentist, right, makes a lot of money, but she's trading her time for money. However, if she had a team of dentists as a part of her dentistry, even if she took a trip to Europe for 2 months, she could still earn income in her business based on the team of dentists who are still there working her business. That's called leverage income. So we make upfront income, which is linear income, when we go out and market our services, but we also earn leverage income off the success of a team that you can build if you choose to. And then we earn residual income. That means you do something one time and you still get paid for it over and over and over again. Now, I'm in my 50s now, but when I started this business in my 20s, I signed up some people for our services because I just believed everybody who I knew and loved and cared about should at least know about these services. I didn't convince them. I didn't have to buy it, but I at least let them know it existed. Well, those customers I signed up in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, I'm still getting paid for in my 50s. That's residual income, my friends. You have to get a piece of that. And then we pay bonuses out as well. So let's talk about this. We all start as an independent associate with our business. There's no bosses here, just coaches. You can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. You can do as much as you want or as little as you want. It's your business. So as an independent associate on a 6490 plan, that's the legal plan and the family identity theft plan. We go out and let people know that exists. They sign up on your website or your app. The company sends you $70 in an advance commission. That's nice, right? We get paid every day, the day after it's processed. So you go out and get your first 3 customers. That's 3 times 70. So you already made $210, plus one of those customers, we call them members. That's our vernacular here with Legal Shield. But one of those customers says, hey, can I get paid when I share this with others? Because I know other people who could benefit from these services. And you say, sure. So now you have 3 customers, and one of them becomes an independent associate like you. Well, that gives you a promotion. We call it 3-in-1. And now you're a senior associate. If you do it in your first 20 days, there's actually a bonus attached to that. But check it out. Now you're making $90 by sending them the same video, by inviting them to the same presentation. You're doing the same work, you're just getting paid more. And you can do the math. I mean, 10 customers at that level, 10 times 90, that's $900. That day, that week, that month, that year, it's up to you. Again, it's your business. So I love that about our business because I got to make as much as I wanted to make. At my job, I got paid what they told me I could get paid. I got a raise when they told me it was time for a raise. Here I could dictate my own promotion, and I love that. Now for all the busy people, because I'm busy, so I can appreciate busy people, but the one thing I know about busy people is that busy people like getting paid while they're busy. And so if you're at a manager level right now, let's say you're there, you're at $120 when you share the service. However, let's say you're busy all week, so you made 120 times 0 because you didn't do anything. But Darnell's on your team, and I live in Maryland. Let's say you live in California. When I share the service, I'm an independent associate like you used to be, but because you're a manager and I'm an associate, I make $70 like you used to, but you make the difference between my level and your level. You're at 120, I'm at 70. The difference, as you can see there to the right, so 30 plus the 20, that's $50. So every time Darnell makes 70, you make 50. You didn't even know my customers. So this is why this works so well. Because if you say, look, I'm not that great at sales, you introduce Darnell, and let's say I am, well, you're making money as you're overcoming your own objection of not being good at sales. You say, I don't have a lot of time. Well, I go out and share the service. You're making income with the time you didn't have. This is why this works so well, because we work as a team here. So the more people we help to succeed, the more we succeed. This was very different because at my job, my boss always made more than me. His boss made more than both of us. And look, I didn't want my boss to die, retire, and get fired, but that was the only way that I could move up, you see? So here, you can introduce someone who can make more money than you, but you don't mind because you get a piece of something you didn't do. That's the value of building a team here. It's true leveraged income, not off the failure of others, but off the success of others.
Working for 70 hours a week as a stylist and a barber kept us from what we wanted to do most, and that was be great parents. And so we know that with PPLSI, we saw the opportunity, and so we just began to put the work in. And because of that work, it literally began to free up our calendar. We were no longer missing basketball games. We were no longer missing volleyball games and tournaments, and, really being an effective parent for our kids, karate lessons, and, really just making sure that we were at home. And so being able to work from home has allowed us to pour something into our children that they wouldn't have been able to get had we been standing behind the chair 70 hours a week like we were.
Now, yes, again, we earn bonus income. If you decide to move a little faster, we pay some bonus income. We also have opportunities here for you to attend performance club trips. So all you have to do is market a few memberships every single month, and you can become a part of our performance club. And being a part of that community, there are bonuses, there's all expense paid trips. So get back with the person who invited you to check this out and say, hey, look, not only am I interested, but I like all expense paid trips as well. And then residual income on the 13th month, we make another 10% of what they paid us up front. When I quit my job, they didn't pay me anything else. They are something else, right? But here you make a percentage again and again and again for the life of that customer. So become an independent associate. Start your business, part-time, spare time, anytime. Our business is willable, right? You're gonna have access to training classes, all for a one-time $49. I know it's a joke. For $49 to start your own business, you have an opportunity to earn unlimited income. But it's completely up to you. Again, most folks are part-time, spare time, and that's how I would advise you to get started with our program. And I know one thing. Once you get that first check, we call it a belief check, or that first deposit, you'll say to yourself what I said, wow, I know I can do more. And the more you do, the more you believe. And the more you believe, the more you can earn. So I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to working with you all and helping you to build a very successful Legal Shield business. So here's your assignment, only 3 things. Number 1, just use the membership. Otherwise, you got to say, I heard that guy from Maryland who talks really fast who told me, but you'll never be able to say, I know. So use the membership yourself. Number 2, become an associate, right? So one time $49. The only ongoing expense is free the first month, and then it's only $24.95 a month for our PPLSI Advantage. That's your digital toolkit. It allows you to send out videos. It tracks it. It tells you when people watch the video, okay? So that's your only ongoing expense. You can write that off, right? Get with a great home-based business accountant. So welcome to the business if you're becoming an associate and joining our team. And then lastly, allow us to help you to become Fast Start qualified. We want you to attend a training class as quickly as you can. There are live training classes and virtual training classes. Let's get to one as quickly as possible so that you can become more confident in what we're doing and what you're doing, which will make you more competent. See, become more confident and more competent at the exact same time by taking a training class. So I'm excited for you. I look forward to working with you. Congratulations. Welcome to the Legal Shield family, and I'll see you all over the top.